And then we have Rich Vazzana, who is also a past president of the Ridgefield Rotary Club, semi-retired CRM exec doing consulting with startup companies in the technology arena, involved in multiple nonprofits in the Ridgefield area as a board of director and volunteer, past president of the Rotary, past president of Lounsbury House, current president of the Ridgefield Symphony Orchestra. I mean, my goodness. You guys, do you ever sleep? Seriously?
Hardly.
Sleep is optional.
I believe you. My goodness. So there's so much that we could talk about here, but we really do want to focus on the Ridgefield Rotary Club and all of the amazing work that you guys are doing. But can you start first by telling me a little bit about what inspired you to join the club? Rich, would you like to start?
The key factor for me was I had just retired. The family said, you know, you have a lot of skills, so do them for the public. See what you can do. Rotary Club, I looked into Rotary and saw that, you know, it would be great to have unlimited funds and give them away. So what better organization is there that you could do the service, you can develop funds, get grants and money, and be able to give it all away. So this is like, it made all the sense in the world. And then to have a group of people that all have the same mindset made it even better.
Yep.
Yeah. And what about you?
Well, I was new to the Ridgefield community, and I really wanted to get a good idea of the lay of the land. You know, who are the organizations and clubs in town, the different neighborhoods, the different movers and shakers. And I was doing a little networking group here and there, but I didn't feel satisfied by the networking. Yes, I was meeting people, getting to know them and their relationship to other people in the town, but I just didn't feel satisfied with the whole give your elevator speech and, you know, sip coffee and give leads to each other, which is still valuable in and of itself. I wanted to do something where I was giving back to the community, a place where I'm raising my children. I wanted to teach them by example. This is how you are a good member of society. You give back, you help those who need help. Yeah. So I had a friend who was already in the Rotary Club, and she said, you'd be perfect. So I came to a couple of meetings, and lo and behold, I became president 2 years after that.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 45 seconds after that, because I could see them just drawing you in right away. Right?
There's a saying in Rotary, you're either a past president, current president, or future president. So,
oh, no.
So we all know. We all know.
Well, I know that I'm just starting to learn about all that you guys do, but are there certain programs that speak to each of your hearts? What about you? What are the favorite ones that you do?
My favorite one is the Taste of Ridgefield, which is a fundraiser. Okay. And the reason why it's my favorite one is it sort of was like the hook for why I wanted to become a Rotarian. Because the idea that, you know, as part of this fundraiser, you get to walk around this beautiful, gorgeous mansion and eat all of this delicious food for one low price, and you know that all of that money is going to the charitable purposes. Yeah. So there's no overhead. It's just the blood, sweat, and tears. And believe me, I ran one of these fundraisers. There's tears, but the blood, sweat, and tears of the volunteers and the wonderful, generous restaurants who are also participating, and they're donating their food, time, and talent. It's just a great community event.
It is. You know what? I hear all throughout, people are always talking about it. Everybody in Ridgefield, oh, you're coming to the Taste of Ridgefield, right? Yeah. So you're making an impact there for many different reasons. Yeah. That's fantastic. What about you? What's your favorite?
My favorite, well, I've chaired the Taste of Ridgefield, and I've chaired the barbecue and some of the other activities that we do for the fundraisers. But my favorite, seriously, was the year that, and you know, we decided to up from $1,000 scholarship to $10,000 scholarship.
That was great.
So that, and we've been doing that every year since. Yep. And the other thing is to be chair of the last few years of the grant committee, because we had $85,000 worth of grant requests last year. Wow. And so it's just so nice to be able to say, yes, we can help you, and gee, we can't give you $5,000, but would you take, you know, a little bit less, and we'd be part of that. Gee, if you up this, if you thought about this, maybe we can get a matching grant from international. So there are just so many ways of being
get creative,
and hand out the money. That's
great.
90% of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge difference, a huge impact on a student to go from $1,000 to $10,000.
Right.
That's fantastic.
So now, well, I think we're the largest scholarship at the high school.
Yeah, that was your objective.
Right?
You said, I want to impact somebody's life.
Right, yeah, that was mine. That was
And I think we have for several years in a row.
Right.
That's
and we
great.
usually have that student come back and talk to us. And, what happened?
I'd be
What's it
crying.
like?
I love that stuff. I'm a big, that kind of stuff's tearjerker for me.
Well, even at the high school too, there is what is called the Interact Club, which are Rotarians in waiting. Think of it that way. There's a group of high school students who are very active and very thoughtful on a Rotary. Well, there used to be 1 or 2 or 3 of them in there.
Now there's like 40 plus.
That's right.
40?
It is a very active group, not because they're looking for something on their resume, for when they go to college.
Care.
They really are I mean,
Every
we're having
weekend.
troubles keeping up with them.
Yes, every weekend
Which
they
is
have
great.
That is
a bake
fantastic.
sale
Yeah.
in front of the rec center in Ridgefield, and they raise the money so that they can donate it back themselves. They choose 2 organizations at the beginning of each school year that they're going to give to, one local, one international, and they've done an amazing job. I admire them so much.
That's
Right.
fantastic. And everybody, when I came to help out with the
food drive.
the food drive, there were several of these students, and they were rotating in and out throughout
Right.
the day. And what I noticed is that they didn't seem as if their parents were kicking them out the car door to go and do this thing. They were jumping out. They drove themselves. They wanted to be there,
That's
and
right.
they were polite. They were, engaging with the people coming in to shop and to give donations. I was very impressed with the caliber of the students.
Oh, they're just a great group to work with.
Yeah.
They really are. And they're good for us too, because we get to see, the youth and the future, Rotary people, and it's going to live forever.
Yep.
And that spoke to me a lot because I like working with students a
Right.
lot. Now, polio, was that like one of the first things that the Rotary got involved in? How did that?
I would say it was the first international. Someone came in, and whose name I don't remember, to be truthful, but came back and said, "Look, let's think of something big."
Yeah.
Remember when President Kennedy said we're going to land a man on the moon? He didn't know how they were going to do it, but he knew, he thought big. So consequently with this, he said, let's think of something big, and polio's around the world, we're going to eradicate it. And everyone just sat back and said, oh, okay. Right? And I'm sure there were a few.
The Rotary Club that brought it to the attention of the World Health Organization
That's
that this
right.
was supposed to be a priority event to eradicate polio.
Right.
And now there's just 3 countries in the entire world that have cases of polio.
It's amazing.
And to think that
amazing.
the Gates Foundation matches 2 for 1.
Yeah,
So every dollar you give is really $3.
Yep.
So,
that's
and
fantastic.
I mean, and we know people from the Connecticut area that every year go to Africa, go to some of these countries that you sit there and say, oh my God, why are you there? And to hand out the polio vaccine.
Wow.
And the stories they come back with, because the tribe chief of the tribe didn't want them there at first.
Right? Gives you goosebumps.
And,
that
then
they put themselves in that peril.
and they had to talk to that person and finally convince that person it was okay.
My goodness.
I mean, so it's very, very interesting when you hear about
But
that.
those are the things that move you to want
Right.
to do more and more and more.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
In those situations.
That's right.
And there are a certain number of focus areas, right? Can you speak to the different focus
Sure.
areas?
So Rotary International sort of creates a policy for all the clubs to follow, and they have 6 areas of focus that they really want all of the clubs underneath the international umbrella to follow. And one of them is water, delivering potable water to people who need it. Disease eradication, with polio being the major campaign, but they also focus on other diseases. The health and wellness of a mother and child, community development and economic development, education for children, and I'm drawing a blank on the 6th. Ah, darn it. Sorry about that.
I don't know if I have it. Let's see. No, I only have 5 here.
Yeah, I thought there was only 5. Unless you invented a 6th one.
I did not.
Well, I
The
think
6th one is
those
to do
are
good.
great. There you go.
That's
To
right.
do good.
And they
Do
do.
good. And always do good.
But you know,
Speak the truth.
these are big things. It's not just like, oh, they're big.
Peace and conflict resolution.
There
I'm
we
so
go.
sorry. I knew it would come to me.
Well, see, the key factor, these are the key elements that you try to teach, and learn when you were a year to whatever.
Yeah.
Because you use these big words, but you never really knew what it all meant until now. There are it's actions that cause these things to happen. This little club in Ridgefield, I mean, there are 40 members. It changes between 35 and 40 members based on people moving in and out. We've built or donated money so that a tribe in Africa could have water. We're never going to see those people or meet those people, but they send us pictures all the time.
That's
Make us bracelets.
Make us bracelets and things.
That's nice.
We do you remember there was a Rotary gentleman who convinced these doctors in Europe and in emerging countries to do heart transplants on little ones, on babies, infants,
Oh my goodness.
at a phenomenally low price. This club sponsored 12 of those people. So to think that we literally changed the life of 12 people.
And the ripple effect of that goes on and on for
That's
more.
right, that's right.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And be able to do it. There was a person that came and spoke to the club, a woman talking about education. And it was education for all women and everything. So one of the women in the club sent an email to just the women and said, okay, each of us are going to give $10.
Yep.
And each woman in the club donated so much money, and way more than
We
the
put a
10.
girl to college.
College, right.
Really?
Yep. In Africa.
So it's that type of.
And
It's
she was
massive
homeless.
change.
That's
This
right.
child was homeless, and this
Right.
organization rescued her from the street, educated her, and then us women of the Rotary Club pooled money together to pay for her to go to college.
That
But
must feel
then
really
even
good.
locally, we have 200 families in Ridgefield that don't have enough money to give holiday gifts for their children.
And you do a family thing where you can sponsor a family?
Right, you sponsor a family.
That's really nice.
And the beauty about it is I've taken my granddaughter with us and said, okay, this little girl's about your age, what do you think she would want?
That's
you
the
know.
way to teach.
And that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to ask something that's a little less enjoyable, but it's perception versus reality, and I want you to clear up the reality for me. There is a perception that Rotary Club is a good old boys club. Can you fill me in on if that's changing or not?
Well, I'm here.
That's what I was going to say. That's right.
But I agree that perception exists. In fact, when I tell people today I'm a member of the Rotary Club, I get the head scratch. Isn't that for old men? And I said, no, you'd be surprised. It's about a 50-50 mix in our club that we have now. And I have to be honest with you, what we're trying to do is attract younger people, the millennials. And that's our challenge. But I think that we have a really good representation of men and women from, I would say, mid-40s up. You know, we have some few exceptions. We have a 24-year-old, which is crazy. We love her. But we'd like to have more 24-year-olds because we have a lot of ambition, but it's hard to put all of our ambitious projects into the hands of people who probably need more rest than they are getting.
But the Interact Club, I would imagine,
Right.
is an integral part of that, fostering so that they learn about it early enough to be able to say, you know what, we did good while we were in
Yeah.
high
Right.
school. We did all these great things. It
Correct.
made us feel good. When I come back to the area after college, I want to join the Rotary Club and I want to do more to help the community and to help
Right.
outside of the community.
We actually had our Interact Club at our meeting last Wednesday, and one of the members asked the panel of young people, when you get old enough, do you think you'll join the Rotary Club? And every single one said, absolutely, we
Oh,
can't
that's
wait.
fantastic.
See, that's the beauty of it, and that's why we had to grow that group from 2 people to, as we said, to now 40. All right, yes, it might take 4 years before they come back, if they do come back to Ridgefield. A lot of them are not, but that's okay.
Right.
You know, they're exposed to it and they know what to do. We've had some, and that's why I said we're anywhere from 35 to 45 we've had as far as members, because some of the 30 and 40-year-olds get transferred. They're promoted. They're
Right,
moved. They're you know,
yes.
something of that
Yeah.
nature, and that's fine.
And you constantly have to have that new
That's right.
blood, we'll
That's
say.
right. but they're Rotary members wherever they went to, because we
Right.
get emails back from them saying, "Hey, you having a great time? You wouldn't believe the idea that I just produced, you know, whatever," and things that.
Ah, that's
It's
great.
fun.
Now, when you travel, do you visit other Rotary clubs and get some ideas and bring them back and implement them?
It depends on where you're traveling to.
Okay. Yeah.
And some of that. I've been to Vail, and Vail had and Rotary happened to have a tent and the whole bit. And so I was talking to some of the individuals there, and they do a little thing where a duck, because there's a stream that goes right through Vail, so everyone buys a little rubber ducky, and
Yeah.
you know, and they have a duck race. We can't do that, you know,
Right.
unless we do it down in Norwalk River. That would be interesting. But then when I was in Berlin, the Rotary Club happened to be meeting in that hotel, so I ran up and and joined them. I didn't understand a damn thing they were saying.
Oh, no.
But they really had a good time. So
But I'm sure.
I don't
do
know
you
if I
get
could
from
bring
the
that
body,
back. I don't know.
Can you tell from their body language, though, that they accepted and they were
yes.
warm?
Yeah,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I hear that a lot, too. Like, I didn't really understand what they were saying, but they seemed very open and warm.
That's right. No, everyone is just eager, and they trusting too, because I had no proof that I was
Right.
part of
right,
Rotary.
Yeah.
You know, there's not a secret handshake or any of that stuff. You know.
There's not.
No,
oh,
I'm sorry.
I wanted a secret handshake.
Oh, that's okay. No, well, we'll invent one. How's that sound?
Well, let me ask you, I know that your intention is to do good in the community and all of that, but have you also been able to make some networking connections that have helped you in your personal or your business lives?
For me, it's been a collateral benefit, but not one that I strive to achieve, because
Right.
I truly do just want to get to know people
Yeah.
and get to do community service. And one of our mottos is service above self.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, I've had the benefit of my fellow Rotarians asking me to, serve their clients or serve them, and in my legal capacity, and that's really touched me, and I feel really thankful for those opportunities. Also, in the District of Connecticut that we are in, the Rotary District is trying to push out an initiative called, I think it's called Business to Business,
Right.
where they encourage Rotarians who would like to network strictly for referral purposes
But it's
to
a
get
separate
together.
thing then, so you can keep
Separate
the
thing.
focus as it should be on service above
That's
self.
right.
Right.
That's
But
right.
then you have the benefit of both
right.
for whoever
That's
wants to
right.
take
If you
advantage
have
of it.
if you have a large group of business people, then that should be a byproduct, but it's a byproduct, not the
It's
major.
not the
Right.
focus. Yeah.
Right. It's not like, as you said, you were in a focus group or a member or introductory
group, right.
leads
Ah,
group,
yes, yeah.
and that was the sole purpose.
Right.
This is a little bit different.
Right, and the difference is the reason why you joined.
All right.
That's right.
Well,
Yes.
it's called Rotary Club, and so think of the word, yes, Rotary and all the aspects of Rotary, but then it's a club. It's a group of people that enjoy being around each other. So that's the club part.
And that's why we have the weekly meetings, so that
Right.
we can break bread once a week together.
Yeah.
Now, not everybody can go to every single meeting, but at least the opportunity is there.
Right, right.
In fact, that used to be the thing, that it had to be every week you had to
Right.
be there. That's not the case.
Good.
Rotary International and all the bylaws have been changed, and it's like, try at least 2 times a month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this way you feel like you're part of the club.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why you want to do that.
Right, but you have so many other opportunities, so it's
Correct.
okay if you go to 2 or 3 meetings, because you might end up helping out on an event over the weekend, or planning something, or
That's
being
right.
on a committee, or
Correct.
right. So you have other opportunities to interact and
That's right.
contribute.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Now, do you find that people, because you do so many different types of things, that they gravitate to one area or another? Like maybe some people are more into being outside, so they may do the street cleanup or the collecting for the food pantry,
Right.
and maybe other people might be more interested in helping with finding. Figuring out the grants and the scholarships and that
Right.
type of thing. So do you find that happens
Yes.
sometimes?
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yep, people
Becau-
go where their talents are.
Yeah.
And but that's right. That's what I was going to say. Based on that, then that's the skills.
Right.
So and the beauty about it is we have so many people with so many skills that listening to each person is what's the important aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's really important, is to be able to get to know, connection's part of my thing, right?
Right.
So
Right,
to really
right.
get to know someone,
Correct.
who they are, what their values are, what they enjoy, that I love.
Right.
I love that, because then I can figure out how to help them to help others even more,
Right.
and I think that's for me something. Now, do you have a particular moment that stands out as being like really something that's warmed your heart? Did you?
There's been many.
I'm sure there's been a million. Now, this is good. You would never pick this one out yourself, so I'm just going to call you on it. And I'm sure it's not what you would choose. But you were recently recognized with all that you do, right? What was
Right.
the title? Was it Citizen,
Citizen
of the Year?
Yes, yes.
Oh, you see he's rolling his eyes. He's turning red over here. Close up on the red face,
oh, please. No,
No.
no, that was a great honor. That really
Yeah.
was.
Well, deserved. You do a lot for the community,
Yeah.
right? And everybody that I run into, they're like, you've brought so much to the table. And specifically why I really wanted to invite the two of you. I couldn't invite 40 members, so I'm like,
That show would be a long show.
it would be a very long show.
Well, what we could do is bring the cameras to
there
one
we
of the
go.
meetings. That would be fun.
Yeah, but then we'd have to fill them in on the secret handshake.
Oh, well, that's true.
But did you have a special moment that came to mind for you?
Oh, yes. I would have to say it's our progressive dinner that we do once a year to raise money for Rotary International.
Okay.
And it just fills my heart with joy that we all get together for appetizers at one member's house who volunteers their home. Then we break up into other little groups and have dinner at different houses, and then we all come together again at the end of the night for dessert at another member's house. And every couple contributes $100, and all this money is pooled together to donate it to Rotary International. And I just, like, something so simple as dining out with people that you admire and cherish,
Right.
and raising money to do good for the world. I just think it's a
Fantastic.
wonderful thing, and it warms my heart
really is.
every check presentation at the end of the night.
It's funny when you think of our club, we're known as the club that likes to eat.
That's just true. Yeah.
Well, you figure we have the Taste of Ridgefield, we have the Progressive Dinner, we did the barbecue. What other food?
Well,
And
every
you eat
meeting
every
is a food
Wednesday.
meeting.
Every meeting
Yeah.
is a food meeting.
And we have
then
two
do-
lunch meetings.
And lunch and we do the food bank for those who. We like food. We like to eat.
good. It's not a bad
So
thing.
that's one of the comforts things.
Yeah,
That's
comfort
important.
food. There
That's
you
right. It's
go.
important.
Exactly.
It sustains you so that you can go out and do more good for
That's
more
right,
people,
that's right.
Yeah. So, is there anything? There's so much that you guys do. I feel like there are some things that I'm missing. What have we missed? Because there's only 2 minutes left. And I want to make sure that we get anything important out that I'm forgetting.
One community service event that we hold that I love is the egg scramble. And
egg scramble?
It's the fastest
scrambled
5
No.
minutes.
No, it's plastic eggs thrown through Ballard Park.
Yep.
And from infant until what age?
About 12.
Oh, so
Well,
you
no, less than
supply
10.
these, and
10.
the kids go around and they pick it. Oh,
and it takes
that's
about 2
neat.
minutes.
Oh, they're fast.
Oh yeah, we have thousands of eggs.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's 2
it's
minutes.
the fastest event ever, and a member's child will volunteer and dress in a bunny suit
Yeah,
and
so
take pictures with the children.
your son did that.
Yep,
so.
my 12-year-old did it last
That's
year.
so cute.
So that's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The different things. What are we forgetting? There's Amber Alert that we do.
Oh, yeah.
An important service, I
Right,
think, for the
Oh,
children in our
definitely.
community.
What else? I don't know. It just
I
goes
know
on
there's
and
so
on.
much though. I want to make sure that we don't miss anything. And so we did cover a lot in 30 minutes. Do you do some, I know we only have a minute left, so I want to make sure that if you have any parting words of wisdom or anything that you'd like to share, an inspiration, something like that for you.
I would say wherever you are in your life, there's always room in your schedule to give back to the community. It doesn't have to be through the Rotary Club. It can be whatever form you wish it to take, but everyone should give back to the community in which they live.
Correct.
I agree. I love that.
Find a way that you have a skill. Everyone has a skill.
Yeah.
So how can that skill be utilized to help others?
That's fantastic. And this is why you're here tonight, because I knew that you guys would inspire me and inspire you out there. So thank you, Kristina. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate
No
your
problem.
time
Thank you.
coming here today and sharing the information about the Ridgefield Rotary Club.
This is
Keep
great.
doing good work. Service
That's right.
above self.
It'll be a we, I'm sure.
Yeah. And thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.